Hey, what's up? How you doing, everyone? I'm James Amero, and this is SwitchWatch, your home for everything Nintendo Switch related. I'm back today with another review, and this one is Code of Princess EX. The game was developed by Studio Saizinsen, and it's been published on the Nintendo Switch by Nicalis, so thank you very much to those guys for giving us this copy for review purposes. But is this game worth your hard-earned cash? Let's jump in and find out. In Code of Princess EX, you play as Solange Blanchefleur Deluxe, a scandalously attired princess whose armour is literally the least protective armour possible, that wields an enormous oversized sword known as Delexcalibur. Yes, this game pokes fun at game tropes and invites us to do the same. Solange is the princess of Deluxia. Her home is attacked by monsters and is forced to run away. She embarks on an epic journey, picking up a random cast of companions along the way. The story is quite light-hearted, and it has a bunch of humour. Some of it hits, while some of it fell a bit flat. This game was originally released in 2012 on the 3DS as Code of Princess, itself a spiritual successor to Guardian Heroes, with a number of the original Treasure team involved in its production. For the Switch, a number of gameplay elements have been refined, from the levelling up system to enemy AI and the graphics, as well as the introduction of co-op play. Code of Princess EX is a hack-and-slash side-scrolling game that implements RPG levelling, skills and more. It's a clever mix of gameplay elements that was first introduced by Guardian Heroes. This game is directly influenced by it and is certainly aimed at its many fans. You have 3 planes to fight on, and you and the enemies can only hit each other whilst on the same plane. Though Code is a hack-and-slash style game, the buttons play out more like a beat-em-up. You have a light and heavy attack in B and A, and your skills consist of down B or down right A, for example. You can string together some very nice combos, and the controls are easy to pick up. The pace is not as fast as I expected, and just button mashing won't get you past the first few levels. As you progress through the game's 50 odd campaign levels, you'll be joined by 8 companions over time, and you can play as any of these characters, each with their own unique skill set. Solange does big physical damage by swiping and swinging her massive sword around, whilst Zozo, her necromancer companion, slings spells, for example. Your motley crew are varied, and each character will thankfully level up regardless of who you choose to play as. The character you choose for a level will receive double the experience of the others, so I chose to vary my play across a few favourites. During battle, you might come across chests containing additional armour or weapons. There are a lot of them to collect, and the addition of these is very welcome, as you can build out a character as you see fit. Though it's worth pointing out that these changes won't make you drastically change a character's playstyle, it's more a case of tweaking and strengthening them. As well as your combos and skills across your characters, each character also has a number of bursts that can be triggered by pressing X. This will temporarily increase your damage output and restore your MP. You can also lock onto an enemy to increase the damage dealt to them, and mixing up these different elements is what creates fun gameplay. Battles are a simple affair of hack and slash combo burst, lock on and cut down a bunch of enemies before facing a boss, completing the level and getting a bit of story progression before moving on to the next stage. The campaign does ramp up with some spiky levels that will lead you to inevitably grind previous levels in order to get strong enough to progress. You can also play a campaign with a friend locally. They can pick up a character as well and are effectively dropped into your campaign. If you do have a friend join though, your progress is not separate, so starting with them from the beginning will mean a very easy experience. Outside of the campaign, you also have free play, where you can play from a much larger cast of characters, over 50 in fact, and each one can be levelled and customised accordingly. The stages are the same as those from the campaign, but the experience from playing here carries over to your campaign and vice versa. We also have bonus quests, which are standalone levels that in truth play out the same as in the other modes. There is a fair amount of depth considering the game's simple systems. Battles do become repetitive though, and the pace to me is a little bit slow. AI has been improved, but it's still not great, and sometimes enemies will stand around for ages without getting involved. The opening theme song is fantastic. It really hits the adventurous and arcade-like spirit of the game.
When battling, there are a few more different songs, and each on offer is okay. Battle sounds are a little bit on the tinny side, perhaps again because they were created for a smaller console. There is a nice variety here though, with a bunch of different spells, slashes and enemy grunts to please your ears. In battle, your character noises are laid on quite thick, and in the heat of battle it can be pretty intense and, to be honest, quite overwhelming and a little bit annoying on your ears, as you have the background music, sound effects and your character screaming at enemies all at once. The game's voice acting is in Japanese and to my ears sounds very good. You can tell the sarcasm is delivered very well through the game's jokes by the inflection in the person's voice. It is strange, however, that the 3DS version was entirely dubbed in English. Whilst I did like having the original Japanese voice acting, I don't see why we were not given a choice. The English dub will be missed by some people and maybe put off some newer people to the game series. The character design is great. Ex-Capcom artist Kinu Nishimura did a great job in creating 50 odd characters that are drawn well and have a humorous element to them, along with a nice array of enemies and solid backgrounds throughout. Unfortunately, past the design, I found the execution to be really poor. On a TV, the character sprites stand out very clearly from the background, and the merging of these two layers does not look good. I found them to be janky with horrible outlines. Perhaps this is a problem with porting a game that was intended for the smaller, different ratio Nintendo 3DS. Being honest, the graphics on display would not look great on previous generation consoles, and for me, are not what I expect of a game at this cost on the Nintendo Switch. On the move, things do look better as you cannot notice these issues as much. The couple of cutscenes in the game are hand-drawn anime style scenes that look great. These have been upgraded to HD and the colours are vibrant. Performance wise, the game runs well. The original version had some laggy play, but this time around it's spot on. I didn't experience any of these issues at all, and I'm pleased to say that the game runs at an impressive 60 frames per second without any hiccups. Code of Princess EX is a comprehensive game. There are 50 characters to play with across a number of modes, as well as co-op play, items to collect and a fairly lengthy campaign. The omission of the English dub as an option feels strange for a reboot. You expect more options, not less, and the graphics are still poor. It is hard to justify $35.99 or $39.99 in the US for someone who didn't invest in a 3DS version, let alone for someone who did. Overall, Code of Princess EX is a flawed game, but it has a lot of charm. When compared to the 2012 version, performance has been improved, but it lacks in other areas. It's best played on the move, and fans of Guardian Heroes will likely really enjoy this one. It doesn't take itself too seriously, and there's certainly a lot of content if you want to get stuck in, but the price tag is hard to get past, and the visuals for me are really poor. Overall, it's a 5.5 out of 10. That's it from me today, guys. I hope you've enjoyed this one, and to all of our new subscribers, welcome aboard. If you're not already a subscriber and you want to stay up to date with everything Nintendo Switch related, why not consider subscribing? Let us know what you think about this game down below, and if you enjoyed this, please do hit that thumbs up like button. I'll see you again soon. Take care.